Hello and welcome to my office mix on getting started with Power BI. I'm Andrew Fitzgerald and I'm going to just run you through the basics. I use Power BI to help me understand and interpret the data I gather in my classroom, like data from an Office form, a Kahoot, or other formative assessment tool that gives me an Excel spreadsheet. It helps me turn this into that. To get started, you need a work or school Office 365 account. And then you just need to go to powerbi.com and log in with the same account. Click on the sign in button up here. After you sign in, the Power BI tile will start showing up in your Office 365 waffle of apps. Pretty cool. Your BI workspace won't look as crowded as mine at first, but this is it. Your basic navigation through the workspace is on the left in the hamburger menu. Down on the left is where you'll get started with the Get Data button. Before you click on the Get Data button, make sure your data is ready to be imported by formatting it as a table. If it isn't, open the spreadsheet, select the data you'll use, and then just click on the Format as a Table button. Then choose your favorite color. Also, give your table a relevant name. That makes your data set easier to find over here within Power BI. You can change the name of your data table by clicking on the table, choose the pop-up Design tab, and then type in a new name over there. Your table names will show up here in Power BI. Click on them to see your columns within the data set. All right, so step 1, click on the Get Data button. Step 2, select the Files option. Now you have to find your Excel data file. You have these options where to keep it stored. I recommend already having it in your OneDrive for Business workspace, so everything is connected via the cloud and runs smooth. If your file is not already in your OneDrive for Business, put it there first. Navigate to your file and select it. Then click on the Connect button over there. You have two options for importing your data. Choose the one on the left. Boom. Now you're in the BI workspace. You've got your canvas, you've got your chart options, and you've got your data sets. Here I am in the Power BI workspace. I have connected to an Excel spreadsheet that I have. This is a table. It's my instrument checkouts. And within that table, I have data from my instrument checkouts that I collect through my Office form that I created for this. Now, what can I do with this? Well, let's see. So I have a column of data for ensemble, band or orchestra, who are the kids that, what classes are these kids in that are checking out their instruments. I can drag that column of data into my workspace, but that doesn't do me much. All I see is that. What I need to come over here and do is select what kind of chart I'm going to use. Well, let's see. Let's start with a bar chart, simple bar graph. I've got some more properties now that I need to fill up. I can go ahead and take that same ensemble column, bring it into the value, and boom, oh my gosh, look at that. How nice and neat is that? Band kids are totally taking their instruments home a lot more than my orchestra kids are. I can also come back over here and I can change this to look the way I want it to look to as well. But I got to make sure that I'm using the right chart style for exactly the type of data that I'm looking for too. Within a actual chart visual, I can come over here to the Format button, and I can actually make it, I can do some changes to it, to the way it looks. I can change the data colors right here. I can turn the details on and off. I can turn the title on and off. It's up to you. Each chart will have, this will be different for each chart. So, as you play around with this and you create some new charts, make sure you come back over here and check out this little Format paint roller right here, because you can do some really cool stuff with that. All right, so there's that right there. What if I want to see what instruments are going home? Bring my instrument data. That's a list of all the instruments that are in that column of data, but I want to see the frequency of it. No, actually, no, I just want to see, which instruments are going home the most. I can come over here and I can do another bar graph chart. Let's see, come out over here to the properties and take that instruments and bring it over here into values, and boom, look at that. How nice and neat. I'm going to make this bigger. Look at that. Trumpets, good job. Violins, good. Clarinets, pretty good. And once again, I can change that. Ooh, look at that. Nice, pretty colors. How neat. If I come over here, what can I do? Well, I can turn that off. I don't really need the title on there. I don't know if I want to do that. Probably not. All right, so that's some stuff that we can do. Look at that. Nice and pretty. Okay, now down here, if I need to, I can create another page in this report that I'm creating. Check this one out. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to choose the submit date. So whenever I check out an instrument, I click submit on my office form. It records, the time and the date. So here are my dates, and I'm going to come over here and choose this area chart right here. And yeah, I know it doesn't look nice right now, but as soon as I come over here and let's see the ensemble. So these are all my students. These are all my students. This is the frequency of them checking out their instruments over time. October, November, December. If I take that same ensemble column of data and I bring it down here into the legend, it'll split it up now. Now it's split up into band and orchestra. So as you can see, we're getting a lot more frequency here with both my classes. Over here, getting ready for concert time. My band kids did a lot more than my string kids. And this is great because this is data that, yeah, it's nice for me to see, but it's also nice for my students to see as well, especially when it comes to the competitiveness between my band kids and my orchestra kids. So this is just a little bit of the stuff that you can do. There's definitely a lot more, but don't be shy. Go ahead and get in here and start messing around and playing around with this, because this is really fun and this is really neat to see what exactly is going on in your class with your students with the data. Go Lakers. So after you're done, putting your data on the canvas and making it look the way you want it to look, you've got some options as to what you're going to do with it. Over here, you can save it as a report. You can also save a copy of it if you want to make a copy of it, of the original one you've done. You can publish it to the web, and what this will do is it'll take this canvas and basically turn it into a website and create a link, and people can click on the link and go and they can see this report that you've created. If you're working with student data, though, you want to make sure that you don't have any identifiable information about the students showing, because that is not ethical for teachers. So don't do that. Also, you can export your data report as a PowerPoint slide deck. So it'll take all the pages that you've created down here in the report and just basically turn it into a PowerPoint slide deck. Pretty neat, pretty cool. Also, too, if you want to add a text box like I've done right here, you can come over here and choose text box. You can add some shapes as well, too. And over here, pretty important, refresh. This is a refresh button. As the data over here changes over time, because maybe like me, you're using an Office form and you're collecting more and more data, what you need to do is you also need to come over here and refresh it so that it pulls in all the new data and it adjusts everything that you see here. Cool thing is that it'll automatically adjust it. You won't have to really go in and mess around with this anymore. It'll automatically show you what's up to date and what's current. Pretty cool. And of course, always make sure you save your work. So this is basically part one of me talking about Power BI. There will be more to come, but once again, this is just getting started with the basics. So check it out, have some fun with it, and see you next time.